Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about the letter Qaf. Let's start first of all by the writing. As we see here, the letter Qaf is formed by two parts. One of them is above the line and the other one is under it. To write it, it's very simple. We start by making a small circle above the line and then we connect it directly to the curve under the line, and finally we add the two dots of the letter Qaf. As for how it is pronounced, its pronunciation comes from the soft palate, where the root of the tongue touches the palate towards the throat. Qaf, Qaf, Qaf. Sorry. And as we know, in standard Arabic, each letter has different forms according to their position in the word. Same goes for the letter Qaf. Here we see the form of this letter when it's in the beginning of the word. As we can see, the curve disappeared, or better to say, it was moved above the line. And like this, the letter is ready to be connected to the other letters to make a word. We have here the example of qalamun, qalamun, a pen. Here we have the second case when the letter Qaf is in the middle of the word, like in the word miqlamatun, miqlamatun, a pencil case. And finally, when it's in the end of the word, we can see here there is extension. That's because the letter Qaf is connected to the last letter before it. Like in the example, halqon, halqon, a throat. This is a very good example because today we are using a lot our throat to pronounce the letter Qaf. And finally, we can find the letter Qaf written like in its original form in the alphabet when it's not connected to any letter, like in the example of waraqon, waraqon, paper. But wait a minute, depending on what we said right now, so why in the word daqiqaton, which means a minute, the letter Qaf is in the middle, but it doesn't take the form of the Qaf in the middle of the word? How come? The answer is simple. Even though the letter Qaf is in the middle of the word, but it is connected to only one letter, that is the letter Ya. And that's why it takes this form. In the same word, we have another example of Qaf in the middle of the word here, and it takes the same form in the general case of the letter in the middle of the word. Why? Because this second Qaf is linked to two letters, Ya and Ta, daqiqaton, daqiqaton. But another question, there are two letters that are close and similar in pronunciation. So how to differentiate between them, which are the letter Qaf and Kaf? So for the letter Qaf, like we explained already, it comes from the soft palate, Qaf. But for the letter Kaf, it comes from the hard palate. It's when the root of the tongue touches the middle of the palate, slightly below the lahat. And to make it even closer, the letter Kaf is similar to the letter K, or the sound K in English, or the sound of C in the word can. Qa, ka. Qa is deeper and from the throat from a deeper position, like we see here. Ka is softer and from a closer position below the lahat, like we explained. To differentiate between them, we will practice the harakat above the two letters. Let's do it. Practice time. We will start by the letter Qaf and we will apply the harakat. Fatha is the hyphen that comes above the letter. Damma is the fatha that has a small circle attached to it and it comes above the letter also. Kassrah comes as a hyphen under the letter. Finally, sukoun. When we say sukoun, is like the letter is not moving, taken. It's in a state of immobility. And that's why we have here the sign of circle above. It's like a zero to memorize it. Zero, no movement. Sukoun. And we added here the letter alif to help with pronouncing it, because this haraka, like we explained it, is sukoun. So the letter is not moving, and that's why easier to add another letter before it, so the pronunciation of the letter with sukoun will be clearer. Also in Arabic, no word starts with sukoun. Next line will be dedicated to tanween. Tanween is when we have the double of harakat. Tanween بالفتحة is when we have fatha but double. Two hyphens above the letter. Second, tanween related to damma. We have two damma above the letter. Tanween in kassrah, we have two kassrah under the letter. And finally, we are going to add shaddah. Shaddah is this symbol that we see like number 3 is laying down, and that's what we call shaddah. Shaddah is like you press on the letter. So we can say that shaddah is a combination of sukoun and fatha. We will see it later. And finally, we will connect the tanween with shaddah, and we will see the long forms of harakat. Let's start. Repeat after me. qa, qa, qu, qu, qi, qi, aq, aq, qan, qan, qun, qun, qin, qin, aqqa. Here we stop for a while. Like I said, the shaddah on the letter makes it formed by two sounds in the same time, sukoun and fatha. Aq, qa, aq, qa. Together becomes aqqa, aqqa. Let's continue now. Aqqa, aqqa, aqqu, aqqu, aqqi, aqqi, aqqan, aqqan, aqqun, aqqun, aqqin, aqqin. Finally, we come to the last line. So the fatha, that is the hyphen above the letter, becomes longer when we add alif. The damma becomes longer when we add the letter waw, and kassrah becomes longer when we add the letter ya. So qa, qa, qu, qu, qi, qi. Let's apply this now on the similar letter to qaf that we discussed, that is kaf, ka, ka, ku, ku, ki, ki, ak, ak, kan, kan, kun, kun, kin, kin, akka, akka, akku, akku, akki, akki, akkan, akkan, akkun, akkun, akkin, akkin, ka, ka, ku, ku, ki, ki. Now we have a bonus. Let's have fun and answer this. Do you think that we can find or make a word that includes both of the letters qaf and kaf at the same time? You may think about it and check if you can find or make such a word or not. My answer will come in 3, 2, 1. The word حقك. حقك. It is formed by two parts. حق, حق. It means a right, a right. Ka. When we add ka to a noun, it becomes your. حقك means your right, your right. Did you think that we may do it like this? Yeah, it was simple. We took a noun and added ka to it to make it yours, and we made a word that contains both qaf and kaf. Let's make Arabic simple and have fun while learning it. Good luck. Bye bye.